class we have discussed about the built-in functions, where we discussed some print function and the input function. In the input function takes one argument that is of type string, and the print function the input or the print function both may or may not take any argument, but the input function is going to return us a value that is of type string, and print will not return any value, and so it will not give us any value, or it is going to give us a default value that is none. Okay, so let us see how to define a function of our own, which will be known as the user defined function. So user defined function, as the name suggests, that the function which is defined by the user of our or ourselves. So we have to create our own function. There are some simple rules to define a function in the Python. First rule is to use the def keyword to define a function block. Def keyword is used like whenever we start a for block, we start with the for keyword. Similarly, whenever we start a function, we will start it with the def keyword. The def keyword will be followed by the name of the function, which may be any user defined name, or you can say which may be name of the function may be any identifier. Name of the function may be any identifier, and we know that identifier is the user defined name. So here name of the function may be any identifier. Okay, and then it will be identifier will be followed by the parentheses. Why it will be followed by parentheses? So that if we need any argument or we need any variable inside this function, then we can pass it within this parenthesis. So the def is a keyword from which the function starts. Name of the function is name identifier, and the parenthesis in which we are going to pass our arguments. So any input parameter or the argument should be placed within these parentheses. The code block within every function start with a colon and is indented, as we do it with the other blocks also, like if and for block we have already read. The statement return expression exits a function, means there will be a statement return which will exit a function, means which will end a function, and we will come back to our main program or our calling statement, optionally passing back an expression to the caller. A return statement with no argument is the same as returning none, and returning none, like we saw in the print statement, where print is returning none. Okay, so a return statement with no argument is the same as return none, or you can also skip the return statement, then also it is going to give us the value none. So let us see one example of the function. Here in the left hand side you can see that we have find the factorial of a number, which is a simple program, but in the right hand side we try to define a function. Here we have followed the rule of the function, that is, we define the function using a def keyword. The name of the function is fact, and the parameter passed is x. If x is of course the variable for which we are going to find the factorial. So inside the function only the main logic of the factorial is written. Here we have printed the value of x, we can also return it using the return statement. We have printed the value of x, we can also return the value of x, the factorial of x, using the return statement. So we will see that also. So this is the function block. As you can see that it is indented already. So here we can see that y is outside the function, as well as fact y is outside function. So what is this statement? This statement, the statement which starts from def up to the indented, will be known as the function definition statement. This is actually function definition statement, and the statement where we are using the function, here you can see that we are calling. This statement is actually known as the calling a function, where def keyword is absent and we are writing the name of the function with the parameter. So we are calling the function fact with the value y. Y is the variable for which we want to get the factorial. It will be passed through function fact, and as soon as the calling statement occurs, automatically control passes control to the to its definition, and the value to which y is pointed will now be pointed by x, and so we are going to get the factorial of x here. Okay, so let us see what is in the next slide. See, this is the defining function using def keyword. The name of the function, which is user defined name, then parameter passed within bracket to fact function. Here colon is used to start the block of the function. Now in this slide you can see that the block of the function or the codes inside the function is known as the function definition statement. And then the function, there is one statement outside the function, and then there is another statement outside function which is used for calling that function. So fact wise the calling statement of the function. Now how a function gets executed, I already told you this. As soon as the function definition occurs, the control passes it to the function definition with the with the parameter control to the function definition with the parameter y. So here the value of y, or we can say that the value to which y is pointing will now be pointed by x also. The value to which x is pointing will now be the value to which y is pointing will now be pointed by x also, means x and y are now pointing to the same value but are at the different places. Okay. As soon as the last statement of the function occurs, the control passes back the control to the calling statement. So as soon as the print statement occurs, which is the last statement, the control come back to the calling statement. Let us take the following code and try to get the output for the function. See here, same code is done. Factorial of a variable we are going to find out. Only difference is that here we are trying to display the function calling statement. As we saw earlier that if a function does not return any value, or if a function have only return statement without parameter, then it will be known as it is going to return the none value. So here we can see that the function does not have any return statement, so it will give us a none value. So when we call the function, when the function calling statement occur, of course it will pass the control to its definition, and we will get the factorial of the number whatever we want, whatever we pass. But after getting the factorial, we are also printing the value which is returned by fact, and since this is not returning any value, we will get none as the output. So here you can see that after printing the factorial, we are getting none as the output. Okay. Now please try this by yourself at home. Now type of arguments, there may be many type of arguments. Basically 4 type of arguments are there. First is the positional argument which we pass inside the function. Second is the keyword. Third is the default argument, and fourth is the arbitrary argument. What is positional argument? If more than one argument are passed at the time of function calling, it will be sequentially assigned to arguments at the function definition, and there must be same number of arguments at the function definition which are at the function calling statement. So here you can see that in this function we have passed 4 values, 20, 50, 60 and 89. Similarly in the function definition we are giving 4 variables to point to these values. So the sequentially values will be pointed by the variables, like A will point to 20, B will point to 50, C will point to 60 and D will point to 89. So this is known as a sequential positional argument, where values are positionally or sequentially allotted to the variables or the argument passed at the time of function definition. Here again we have used the same concept at the positional argument, but we are trying to get the output, or we are trying to get the value for each argument using the print statement. So you can see the output here. For the A output is 20, for the B output is 50 and so on. So let us take another example, or the another type of argument, that is the keyword argument. In the keyword argument, the value of the variables In the keyword argument, the value or the values of the arguments are passed at the time of function calling statement. We can change the order of passing the arguments by passing the value at the time of function calling statement. Again, I am repeating, we can change the order of passing the argument at the time of function calling by passing the values of argument at the time of function calling. So here you can see that in the first example, b is equal to 10, a is equal to 12. So we are passing value for b as 10 and value for a as 12. So we have changed the order here. No matter, it will automatically go to the b well, since b is assigned with 10, and the a will automatically go to a since it is assigned with 12. So we will get the output 1.2. So in the next in this example, we have tried to get the output for each argument which we have passed as the keyword argument. So b is passed as 20, and for b we are getting the output as 20. Okay, now we have to find the error in the following code. What is the error in the following code? You can here notice that in the function calling statement, this is the function calling statement, and in this statement there is one argument e which is b rest 3 are the actually all are the actually keyword argument, all are actually keyword argument. So it is going to matter because we have passed the value of these arguments at the time of function calling. So e must also be present in the function definition. If it was positional argument, then no matter, the name of the variable may change, but while we are going to use keyword argument, then the name of variable must be same, means the name of the variable or the argument at the time of function calling and at the time of function definition must be same. So here we can see that e is not present in the function definition statement. So we are going to get one error like an unexpected keyword argument e. So let us see another question. Now in this question you can see that we have passed the three keyword arguments. We have passed three keyword arguments and one positional argument without values. So see why it is going to give us an error, because always you have to remember the rule that a positional argument should come first, then only the keyword arguments may be allowed. Okay, so there is a rule and we have to follow this rule. Positional argument follows keyword argument. This is the error. We have to solve this. Sorry. So this is all about the keyword argument. Inside the keyword arguments, you have to remember that positional argument should not follow the keyword argument. Okay, so let us see the next slide. Okay, we can pass both type of arguments, positional and the keyword argument, in the same function with the restriction that positional argument will come first, then the keyword argument. Positional argument will come first, then the keyword argument, like it is given in the example where we are inside the definition we are trying to get the output for a and b or c, and here we have passed four values. The two are in the first function calling. You can see that in the first function calling 10 is the positional argument, rest are the keyword arguments, and in the second function calling you can see that two positional arguments are there and the two positional keyword arguments are there. Okay, so we will so you can try the output by yourself. In the second example you can see that one positional argument is there. Here 120 is the positional argument which is directly passed. 120 the positional argument will be assigned or which will be pointed by a. Rest are the keyword arguments. The order has been changed. So you are going to get the output like this. So this is all about keyword argument and the positional argument. We will read default argument in our next class. Okay.